my Camaro, because I am Jimmy Camaro
Is
after all.
this becoming too sexual, this podcast?
No, they all wind up this way.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Darryl Wright was here, and he went to an S&M club.
Yeah.
And the night before, he was at a George Carlin celebration concert.
Yeah.
And he did time, like he did, he did time in real life, like he went to jail. But he did a stand-up at the club, and there was a dominatrix whooping this other chick's ass, and she goes, "Hey, you were great last night." And he goes, and the bitch getting her ass whooped goes, "Yeah, motherfucker, you were funny." And they took the bitch out of the stockade to get a photo with me, and the girl's husband was in a dog cage wearing a gas mask, and he fucking used the iPhone with the gas mask on, she's like, "Oh, get the fuck back in that cage."
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Swear to God. Well, I swear to God, that's what he said. But he's got no reason to lie. He's pretty neat.
Right.
He's a colorful man, literally.
Yeah, he's good.
He's black. He's a black.
Yeah, I love black.
A black man. See, is that racist? I said black man.
No, it's just different.
Fucking the Chinese
Have you
separate
not heard of
themselves.
Chinamen? Any of you two? What do you mean?
Eric, the engineer, went, "It's fine. I like it."
Though?
I didn't think it was racist. They're Chinese men, like he said.
Yeah, but you never heard Chinamen in a derogatory way. Like you heard that was derogatory. You're 20 years old. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Bring the mic back. Yeah. No, I like you. You're a nice guy, and you're very likable. Yeah. Sorry for attacking you.
How long were you on Mad TV?
8 years.
You made a lot of money doing that.
No.
Really?
No.
I would just think any job for 8 years, you would just save it.
It was a steady weekly paycheck, which is unheard of, really, for 8 years in this business. So I was very grateful.
It is weird, like Nicole Sullivan, there's like really funny people that came, but you guys all, after the fact, seem to live in anonymity from, like you all maybe get famous from other shit. Yeah. Like Nicole Sullivan, more people know her from like fucking Rita Rocks on Lifetime Network than like the 11 years that she was on Mad TV. Like it was like the witness protection program for funny people.
It was. It was like there were just people in our dressing rooms that would just wander off. Like, you know what I mean? Like we weren't a show. We were like more of a community theater. You know what I mean? Like no one saw it. Really.
Oh, wait, I was there with you.
That's right. You did guest star. You played
Chris Penn.
That's right.
I did Chris Penn giving the Raiders a pep speech. I don't care how mad Al Davis is mad at you. That's not half as mad as Al Davis.
I remember that.
Let's hit some pads and get on some people out there.
I had like one line or something.
Yeah, you were the Asian guy. You're probably the kicker. You're a soccer guy.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Mad TV, your new show on NBC.
Yeah, but here's the thing. After at Mad TV, though, no one called me.
Well, you have agents that are supposed to call other people.
No, they'd call people, and no one, like, I couldn't get anything going for 4 or 5 years.
Why?
I don't know what happened. It was just because I was so associated with that show.
Really?
Yeah, some casting directors would be like, yeah, he's...
But you were sober then, too, right?
Yeah, so all I did was do the road, really. I did the Eminem video. I did one line in Paul, you know, that Simon Pegg movie. I had one line in Pineapple Express, you know what I mean? So I would get like these kind of, glorified extra, you know what I mean? Because people liked me.
An $1,100 extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get anything going. And then last couple of years have been really good, but it was rough. And I think it was because of the Mad TV. We just got looked at as like the ghetto SNL.
Some funny stuff that came out of it. I mean, the chick that went over to the Family Guy.
Yeah.
Bornstein?
Yeah, Alex.
She's like the most successful one because that gig ain't going anywhere, right?
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. And she, but people don't know her from, like Miss Swan, the character that she did.
Yeah.
But, all her roots are probably in Family Guys. If she dies 50 years from now, that'll be what she'll be remembered for.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you guys somehow live in anonymity from Mad TV, but you're saying on the business side of it, it really, they knew you from it and they didn't like you about it.
No. And it was like, it was a daunting... and the road, but there were still fans, so I was able to go on the road and draw and get.
Yeah, you draw well on the road.
Yeah, I do good in the road. So you
get laid.
Yeah,
it must be hard for. I'm being completely serious.
Okay, and don't offend me, but I know it's coming because you have a smirk. But go ahead.
It must be hard for an Asian guy to fucking get laid on the road.
Why would you say something like that?
I would say that if there was a black guy here. I would say that if there is, just pretty much. Because you're different from everyone else.
Yeah.
Looking, you are the interloper. You're the guy. You're the Asian. There's an Asian person.
Yeah.
And there's 400 white people.
Yeah,
you say
yeah.
goodnight. I always say on this podcast, it's so much harder than anyone. Everyone goes, you just fucking get it. No, I say goodnight and walk this way. They all get up with their dates and go in the other direction.
Very hard.
So if I want it, I got to circle around, go through the lobby and all the, hey, good show, and go, yeah. And then have 200 eyewitnesses to me going, so you want to go to Dave & Buster's and bowl while we listen to fucking Tom Petty running down a dream? You want to hang out?
Yeah.
And then if she goes, no, I got my fat girlfriend, she's going to cock block the whole night, then everyone's like, oh, shit, he got fucking crushed. It's so much better to just go back to your hotel and jerk off.
And then you end up in like a Waffle House with the local comics, you know what I mean? Talking shop, and they pick your brain like, how do we get an agent? You know what I mean? And you're like, oh my God, you know what I mean? But I've had girls, I had this one girl in drive from Indiana to Chicago, and as I went back, I was at the Schaumburg Improv. She had snuck into my dressing room, a white girl, right? And she was naked, and she wanted to hook up with me, but she wasn't at the level of where I need
You're out
to
of
be.
your fucking mind. So what, you send her away?
Yeah.
You had a 5 in your room ready to go.
Yeah.
And you were like, look, this ain't going to work.
Yeah,
You're a
yeah,
nice kid. You're a nice naked kid and all, but I can send you on your way.
Yeah, but because
If you had Down syndrome and fingered my ass for candy, we'd be in business. But the fact that you're a fucking chubby Midwestern girl.
No, she was
like
cute.
you're
She was very cute.
You're my father's
if she's
dream.
listening,
come
you
to
know, I
life.
would have done it. But the thing is that, you know, my
What do you tell her?
Just listen, though, Jay. I love
You're
you,
right.
but listen, okay?
You're right. I
My
interrupt too much.
girlfriends have all been beautiful, like just white girls, Mexicans. They've all been 8s and 9s.
Wait, you crossed the line.
Right,
With that Mexican comment.
right.
That's out of line.
She's an accountant at CAA. She was very cute,
All right.
very smart. You know what I mean?
Jewish Mexican.
Yeah, she's kind of, yeah. But the thing is that
Jaxican.
all my girlfriends have been beautiful, great girls, spiritual girls. You're just wonderful people. So for me to dip down, I feel like.
Even for the night on the road, when you said that's your MO.
Yeah, because the thing is that it's still an all-night thing. Then she has to come to my hotel room. Then there's like room service. And it's never just pull your pants down and just hate fuck. You know
Because
what
guys
I mean?
like you and I are too nice.
What?
You
I'm
guys
too
like
nice.
you and I are too nice.
I have to cuddle, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like guys on the road that'll do it and be like, all right, you know you got to get the fuck out of here, right?
I
Like,
can't do it.
I don't know how guys
They
could
spend
ever.
the night. I have breakfast with them. It's like a whole
But this
thing.
girl was probably like your father's dream, like nice Midwestern girl, little bit of chubby.
No. My dad has high expectations for me.
No,
He's
for
Asian.
him, I mean,
What do you mean?
your father for himself, to meet like a blonde girl like in the Midwest, Chicago, like a work.
No, because
from
he's met all my girlfriends throughout time.
I don't mean for you. I mean your
For
father.
him, you think my father would want to penetrate her?
yes.
No, my father is a decent man. He's listen. No,
one's
I'm
bad.
standing up. No, listen to me. No.
Bobby Lee just stood up,
No, listen
put
to
his
me.
finger
No,
in
listen
my
to me.
face.
And listen to me right now. All right.
All right.
My father's only had sex with my mother. Right.
Yeah.
And they've never cheated on her. Right. And they've been together over 40 years. How
bless.
dare you?
God bless. God
How
bless.
dare you? He doesn't masturbate to other women, and he's a decent man.
That beats you if you had a B plus.
Yeah. Because I'm the bad kid. Why can't I just got straight A's like all the other cousins?
Because it's an unrealistic goal. Because you're a human being, and
Yeah,
God put a brain in your
In
head.
retrospect, yes.
Yeah.
In retrospect, yes.
And you don't think your father? I'm not being disrespectful. You know what? I don't even want this to be I'm stopping right now because
don't. Because
I don't
I'll tell
want
you
it to
why.
be misinterpreted as disrespectful because it's not how I mean it.
Because when I was the one thing I'm mad about my dad. When I was 17 years old, I was at the McDonald's Center. It was a rehab, okay, and we had group session, right, where all the families in the room, and I'm supposed to tell my parents my deepest secrets in this group session. So I go like this. I say this. I know it's a horrible idea. It was called knees to knees. So you have to go in the center of the room, 2 chairs, my knees touching his knees. And I look at...
That is the most uncomfortable. That is the worst.
It was called knees to
idea
knees.
in the world.
Yeah.
And
I-
he can hit you from there.
Yeah, you can hit me from there, right? So we have knees to knees, right? And the counselor said, Bobby, tell your father what you told me, right? So I go, when I was 9 years old, I was molested by a guy that was... He doesn't know what Down syndrome means, so he knows what retarded means, right? So he was retarded. And you heard silence, then you heard this. He laughed. With a smile. And I backed away. Our knees detached, and I sat back down on my chair.
Did you ever ask him why he left?
He thought it was the funniest thing he's ever heard in his life.
His son got finger
Finger by a
banged
retarded, yeah.
By a,
Because to him, it's like, how could you let that happen? That's so funny.
That's like that's a very Asian domineering response. Like you showed weakness and he took advantage of you.
Yeah.
Because
200 years ago, I'd have to take a sword and slice my stomach up.
You showed dishonor.
Yeah.
If you read Art of War, take high ground, see opponents. Lao Tzu once said, the biggest misconception of God is that I am here and he is out there.
Yeah.
The arrow becomes the target, Bobby. That special boy was you.
Yeah. Were you upset by that? You seem a little upset by it.
No, she's taking notes and minutes.
Oh.
Here's the thing about therapy. It can go wrong so quickly and so ridiculously. And the whole idea of sharing in a rehab, it's like, I understand you got to open up, come out of your shell, but how about you just share that you're an addict and I have a fucking... You know what I'm going to share?
Yeah.
I have a fucking problem. I'm powerless over this, and I don't know what one is like. That's what I'm sharing here. But what about your childhood? You know what? That's my fucking baggage that stays behind. Like, that's my thing that I take into my relationships moving forward.
Yeah, but their point of view is that I'm 16 years old. I've been hiding this thing, you know what I mean, that they think I'm using over, which I think I was just born with the thing.
You are. I think so, too.
Yeah.
And we have this discussion a lot in the house, and that about, like, therapists, like, the whole victim fucking culture of like, I got to go tell this person like all this fucking shit. I was touched as a kid. Hey, guess what? Yeah. Fucking like 1 in 3, 2 in 3. Everybody had someone fucking touched our dicks or fingered your fucking like. That's just how it went.
Yeah.
And you know what? Well, and some of us go to therapy forever, or some of us go, well, I was fucking 4. I don't really give a shit anymore. Like, it was bad and it was disturbing and horrible, but you know what? Now I'm fucking 41 years old and I would like to go have a fucking meeting. I don't want to hold that meeting up with my therapy where I keep regurgitating shit because I choose not to be a goddamn victim.
And we live better than 99.9% of people that ever lived on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Look at what's going on in Syria, okay?
Syria? What about fucking Compton?
Compton, right? Kids just dying, you know what I mean, for no reason, right? I had
People
parents,
live in the valley.
Yeah. I had a
really
sweaty, twisted finger in my butthole. Big deal.
Twisted.
Yeah, it was
so his fingers had Down syndrome too. Is that just because he had Down syndrome? He kept smashing them indoors and not knowing it. Why is his finger crooked?
I just remember it being big and like twisted like this. It felt funny. You know what I mean? If it was straight in my butthole, that'd be one thing.
Do you take medication for your panic?
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Do you work out?
Yeah. Why are you laughing at that?
You're so funny.
No, but why do you mean I work out?
Well, because you called yourself a scallop.
I know, but the thing is I
go like, yeah, but you said it with such a
in the last 2 months, I lost 10 pounds.
Good, me too.
Because of the show. You know what I mean? Because I saw the pilot, like a little bit of the pilot, and I looked so fat.
I did an episode of Monk, and they had to move the camera back because my belly was blocking. Oh, no. It was on Ghost Whisperer when I started really putting on weight. Because on Street Kings, I got super buff and I was huge.
Yeah.
And then I was working out on running and fucking fighting Keanu Reeves and shit. Yeah. And then you go back to Ghost Whisperer and you're just sitting in the trailer and there's donuts. And then the fucking hot dog truck comes. And then you have coffee with a hot, like just awful, just piling shit.
When did Street Kings come out?
I don't know. It's on IMDb. I forget. Yeah. Honestly,
I heard good things about that.
It's really cool. It's real. I really like it.
Yeah.
And so I got really fat. I remember on Ghost Whisperer, I was up to like 210. And Ian, the producer, the showrunner, it was like every once in a while he would direct one, and he goes, "You got to move. You just have to move it back." He goes, "Thanks a lot. I got to relight because of your fucking stomach."
Wow.
But he wasn't being a dick. He was like, "Can you believe this? Like you've really put on weight." And I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" And I was so like playing it off, but I was so humiliated. And then I did an episode of Monk, and then when I saw myself on TV, I went, "Oh my god, like I'm a big fat guy."
Yeah.
I got fat.
Yeah.
So I've been working.
Is that why there's cupcakes in your kitchen?
Father's Day, sweetie. It came for Father's Day, and I just haven't thrown them out yet because I don't want my wife to think I'm not eating them. So when she goes to sleep, I put them in the garbage disposal and I go really loud. And she goes, "Wow, how are the cupcakes?" I go, "Good. I had like 7 in the middle of the night. They're amazing." But really, I throw them away. I throw them away. But before I do, I look at the bottom because some say SM, and some have a V. You were like, why?
You've had 5 callbacks.
You're
callback king today.
I'm pretty good at
it.
Yeah. If nothing else, for the listeners, we'll attest.
You're very good.
I'm a call. I appreciate a good callback. It loops everything around. So when you have your panic attacks, is it panic or anxiety?
It's it got worse. It gets worse during auditions
Well, that's anxiety. That's human being stuff.
Yeah, but I've been able to control that by working on it harder. You know what I mean? The sides and stuff. Actually working on it. Yeah, but in social situations, it'll just never go away. I'm fine on stage, or if I'm acting, I'm fine. You know what I mean? But when it comes to like this, like being around, because I hadn't seen Jay in a long time. You know what I mean? And I'm in his house, and it's just a foreign environment, you know?
You're fucking foreign. You're Korean.
I'm American.
Don't fucking tell me my house is foreign.
Let me say something to you.
You want to fucking stand up?
They'll stand too.
Can you? How'd you like to be my next door neighbor? Just listening to this whole hour and a half.
Yeah.
They're right there.
They are.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If
If Bobby Lee ever attacks you on the street, just tell him there's a fucking ghost right over his shoulder. Look at that fucking thing.
Oh,
He just fucking.